Hey guys, so I'll just be discussing on what does California's Great America, a Cedar Fair park located in Santa Clara, California, need to be a better park. This park opened in 1976 as Marriott's Great America, then it was acquired by Paramount in 1993 and was renamed Paramount's Great America, and then was purchased by Cedar Fair in 2006 and was renamed Great America until a year later, and then was renamed California's Great America as we know it today. They're a great park, not too many coasters or rides, but they're definitely willing to get better in the future. So let's discuss on what they could do. So let's get into it. So they have 9 roller coasters, which is actually a decent amount for Cedar Fair. They have Railblazer and RMC Raptor, their newest coaster, opened in 2018. It's a mirror image of Wonder Woman. Golden Lasso coaster at Six Flags Fiesta Texas. They have Gold Striker, which is a GCI wooden coaster. Flight Deck, a B&M invert, the second one actually ever built. Grizzly, which is a Din Corporation wooden coaster. Demon, which is an Aero custom looper. Patriot, which is a B&M floorless, used to be a stand-up called Vortex. Psycho Mouse, which is an Aero Wild Mouse. Lucy's Krabby Cabbies, which is an ENF Miler kiddie coaster, and Woodstock Express, which is their intimate kiddie coaster. Now let's look at their throw rides. They don't have too many. They have Drop Tower Scream Zone, which is your typical intimate giant drop, very fun. They have Delirium, which is a Chance Revolution. They have Orbit, which is their Enterprise, and Extreme Skyflyer, which is their Sky Coaster, which is an upcharge. And they also have Mass Effect, which is a great theater attraction. And some of their notable family attractions, they have Plant Snoopy. They have Tiki Tour, which is their disco coaster, and they have a sky ride. Not too many Cedar Fair parks have sky rides. And they have Star Tower, like at Carowinds, which is their observation tower. And they do have 2 water rides: Whitewater Falls, which is their intimate shoot the chutes, and Rip Roaring Rapids, which is their intimate River Rapids ride. So they actually do have a pretty good collection of rides, probably middle tier when comparing to other Cedar Fair parks. Better than the small Cedar Fair parks like Michigan's Adventure, but not as good as something like Kings Island or Cedar Point. But yeah, they are doing a great job, so I do think that they could improve, but you have to remember, this park does not have a ton of space, so whatever they do, they either have to remove an existing attraction or just be really creative, which we will get to that later. So let's see what kind of coasters and rides they could get. So what could they use? What everyone obviously wants to see is RMC Grizzly. This is an old wooden coaster that not too many people really enjoy anymore. It was built in the mid-80s. And it's just not very enjoyable. At one point, it was voted as the worst wooden coaster, so that is pretty crazy. So if they RMC'd it, it would be a great addition. Hopefully, like it would have a great layout, with some awesome inversions and some good ejector airtime, and it'd be very fun. However, I don't know if that's the most likely option, but it would be very cool. Next up, and this is something that I could definitely see coming here, considering they don't have a ton of water rides, I could definitely see them getting a mock Power Splash. There's one going to Six Flags over Texas this year, and there is a couple outside the United States. It'd be very unique to the area. There's not one on the West Coast, and it'd be very fun. They are known to be pretty intense, and it's nice to cool off on a hot day. So a mock Power Splash would work great at this park, in my opinion. And they do not have a launch coaster, nor a coaster that goes backwards, but the next coaster does the exact same thing, except it's not a water ride. It's an Intamin Impulse, and obviously we know Cedar Fair does not work with Intamin anymore, but if they relocate one of their impulses like Possess or Wicked Twister, it would definitely be really cool. And yeah, an Intamin Impulse would work well here. And finally, the coaster we also really want to see here is a B&M Hyper Coaster. As you may know, the West Coast is not really known for having great hyper coasters. The most well-known is Goliath at Six Flags Magic Mountain, but even that, not too many people like. And like, you do have Accelerator, but that's not really considered a hyper coaster, even though it is over 200 feet. It's not your true hyper coaster, so something like a B&M Hyper would work very nice here. There's plenty of other Cedar Fair parks like Canada's Wonderland, Kings Island, and Carowinds, and it would work so well here. And again, it would be something the GP would very well enjoy. It would definitely be the GP Sierra coaster in the park, and yeah, it would just work itself around the park, considering they don't have too much land, making like a Silver Bullet type ride. It would actually be really cool. And next, let's go to flat rides. And like I said, they don't have the greatest collection, so I could definitely see them getting a couple different attractions. First up, a Funtime Starflyer. Like many other Cedar Fair parks, I could definitely see them getting one. And Funtime Starflyers are very enjoyable. They give you great views, and they're just overall very enjoyable. And that is a rumored attraction that they're going to be getting with their plan, because Cedar Fair, is working to expand the park. And there's a plan paper that shows like what kind of attractions they could get, and a Funtime Starflyer I think was one of them, so maybe that could be their next thrilling attraction, who knows. And next up, I could definitely see something like a Huss Top Scan going here, something like what Carowinds has. It would be super cool, and it's something very different, and I definitely think the GP would also really like it. And finally, we also could see a Huss Troika come here, and that would also be really cool. And yeah, you basically have them at every Cedar Fair park, but they're enjoyable rides. And for family rides, I don't really think I could see really anything coming here right now. I think for now, they're mainly focusing on the thrilling attractions, so maybe they could hold off on family rides for a little bit. And considering they do have quite a few family coasters, but who knows, they could add some stuff to Plant Snoopy, or just add maybe some more things, like maybe like a boat ride or something like that, or really anything. I don't know. And next up is water rides, and obviously I talked about this before. I could definitely see them getting a mock power splash because, you know, it's something very different. And they only have 2 water rides. Most Cedar Fair parks have 3 or 4. So yeah, I could definitely see them getting the mock power splash. Any coaster removals? I definitely have a couple coaster removals I could see going. Obviously, Grizzly is the big one because they could RMC that coaster. Demon is another one, and that could go for like where their B&M Hyper could go. You never know, that could be like their PortAventura, they could use it. But Demon is a classic, so I'll hold off on that one. And also Psycho Mouse I can also see get removed for maybe their Intimate Impulse or their Mock Power Splash, or really anything. I mean, yeah, Air Wild Mouse coasters are very unique, but I don't know. And any available spaces, there are a couple, but they're not very big. Like I said, California's Great America, it's 100% developed, so they don't have a ton of space to work with. I could see them taking up some of the parking lot for one of their new coasters, like maybe the B&M Hyper. There's an area by Grizzly near the car ride. Maybe it could go there. There's an area right next to Railblazer that can be where their Intimate Impulse goes, because remember, it's a narrow and small plot of land that they could use. So I could definitely see that. And there's also a good amount of space by Flight Deck's Helix. I don't know if California's Great America owns that space, but if they do, that would definitely be nice, because that is actually a decent amount of space, and it would be very picturesque for whatever coaster could go there. So yeah, it would definitely be very nice. So yeah, they don't have a ton of space. So whatever they put, the ride probably would not be super long unless it goes around the park, but I don't know. But yeah, that is just some of my predictions for what California's Great America could get in the near future. Do you agree with what I'm saying? Let me know down in the comment section below, and please be sure to subscribe. It would really mean a lot to me. And smash the like button. And hopefully I can see you guys soon. See you guys, bye.